Okay, I have a few questions in here. First question. Why at the meditation hall the monks hit the floor with the wooden stick? Why not? If we didn't hit the wooden sticks, then you said, in the other meditation hall, they hit the floor with wooden stick, and how come you don't? So, you won't win one way or the other. They always ask why. The hit the wooden stick is to call the walking meditation to a halt, to a stop. And they hit the wooden stick because sometimes you were dreaming, you were not paying attention. They hit a wooden stick. Not just, we only have 3 or 4 people hitting wooden sticks. Sometimes in a huge meditation hall of 400, 500 people, they have 30 people hitting the wooden stick, plank the wooden stick. It produces a very cracking sound that attracts your attention. Because meditators tend to be drowsy, tend to be not paying attention. The attention span of an average person, more or less, is about 10 minutes. You dream away, you don't care, you don't pay attention. If people do a cracking on the floor, you get scared a little bit, then you pay attention. Spare the rod, spoil the child. If we say, okay, Sonny, we don't want to disturb you, go back to sleep in your meditation. Or when you're walking, well, just do it easily. Feel free, and even if you doze in your sleep, just do so. Just walk. You bump into the column. So attract your attention. We want your focus. Want you to listen. Want you to be mindful. That's the reason why we produce a sound. Sometimes not just a cracking sound of hitting the floor. Sometimes a yell. Yells are very effective. Walk in meditation. Yelling. You know, in the Chinese language, we are meditating on a koan. 念佛是谁? Who is reciting the Buddha name? They yell out. And when you're walking, sometimes you walk fast, sometimes you walk slow. If you're walking slowly, they will say, quiet, faster. They yell at you. You know why they yell at you? So many meaning in yelling at you. They want to subdue your ego. Why are you hitting me? What right do you have in hitting me? Why are you bothering me? I can walk wherever I want. I can be slow, I can be fast. Shut up and walk. They hit you again. Because you have your ego. You don't want to listen. Your ego is so strong that the invigilator wants to kill your ego. When your ego is killed, your wisdom slowly gets conjured together. That's why they do all these actions. These actions are meant for you. There's so many explanations in it. Many people, especially senior people, they were sleeping in their meditation. They're wasting their time. You know what they should do? Go to Gao Min Monastery in Yangzhou. If you're sleeping, they drag you out. 2 monks will come to you and drag you, get out right away. You can't do it like this. You can't. They either hit you, or they simply, after 2 or 3 times of warning, they drag you out. Because why are you wasting your time? You can do and waste your time at home. Don't waste your time in here. This is a place for enlightenment, for learning. Don't spread around your lazy energy. Your energy of sleepiness, don't spread it around. You are not killing yourself. Not only killing yourself, you're killing other people. The guy who's sitting next to you, you almost touch his shoulder. You almost touch his shoulder. You are giving sleepy energy around. We want someone who's alert, who's mindful, who knows what he's doing. We already are in a big dream. Life is but a dream. And you are dreaming in your big dream. You are in a cocoon. Your cocoon is bad enough, and you want to throw another cocoon that binds you. You have two cocoons, a sleeping cocoon and a cocoon of the whole universe. Think about it. But when the Mara of sleepiness dominated, you're not yourself. You're not yourself. I think we should have a policy of dragging people who are sleepy out. All right, next. What's the purpose of having dreams in Buddhist philosophy? Who told you you need to have dreams in Buddhist philosophy? You dream what you dream. Why do we care about your dreams? We don't like to meddle into your affair. Why do we have to care about what you are dreaming? And who said that Buddhist philosophy philosophers want to create dreams? What is a Bodhisattva? We need a lot of explanation. But actually, Bodhisattva is striving to get to be awakened, to get enlightening. And then striving to tell your folks how to get enlightenment. Saving others and saving yourselves in the process of nirvana, in the process of enlightenment, in the process of getting away from samsara of life and death. That's what a Bodhisattva is all about. So, nobody told you to get dreams. Don't be superstitious about dreams. People start to interpret dreams. They try to interpret dreams in such a way that dreams are related to what they did or what they're going to do. I mean, there's so many ways that you can relate dreams to many things. What is a dream? Where does this dream start from? Start from you? No. Start from your own mind. And if you want to know why you dream it like that, why do you have dreams, start to know the root of the mind. How does your mind work? How does a thought originate? A dream is a thought. How can you say a dream is not a thought? A dream is a thought. How is a thought created? What is a past thought? What is a thought about the future? What is a present thought? I mean, study the mind first. And in the process of studying it, you know what dreams are. What does niyata yakarana mean? I'm not a dictionary, you know. How do I know? I don't even know if that's a Buddhist term. I don't know. And why must one be a male to attain it? Well, I try to deduce the first sentence to the second. That means niyata yakarana is something about only a male can do it. A female cannot do it. How come you're discriminating the female? How come the yata is discriminating the female? But some people would say, okay, being born in the Sukhavati view, or the land of bliss, there's no women in there. There's no such thing as women in the land of bliss. Because according to the Sutra, when you are born over there, the woman is already turned into a man. Or, in order to properly understand it, why is there a gender difference? There's a gender difference because there's sex involved in it. In a higher level, there's no sex anymore. Sex is a lower level, is a lower level tendency, is a lower level habit of the lower level existence. When you go a higher level, there's no such thing. And I don't know if I should be more, foolhardy or is foolhardy to talk about all these things about sex kind of thing. But in North America, they don't really care about it. But in Asia, you can't really just talk about it. You know, The world is in 3 strata. The world with sex and desire, the world with no sex but materiality only, the world with nothing, no materiality, no sex, there's consciousness left. The higher level, the more happiness. The lower level, the more sex. And they don't discriminate partnership in sex too in the lower animals. All the families mixed together have that kind of thing. But being a human, they still differentiate. This is my mom, this is my dad, this is my brother, this is my sister. In this lower level of world with sex and desire, there's also 6 heavens in there. The 6 Kamadhatu heavens. In other words, we're at the lower level, humans is not heaven, you know. We're living in, humans have this sex, a gender difference. But in the higher level of the 6 heavens, they have interaction in a different way. In here, sex is expressed by bodily contact. In a lower level, by bodily contact. But in the highest heaven level, it's not expressed in the same way. They already have that kind of relationship by a look. When a woman sees a man, the exchange of eyesight is already, that kind is already achieved by a look. In another level, by a shake of hands. In another level, by a hug of the body. In another level is a conveyance of mind. The lower level is bodily contact. So we are lower level. So what do you mean by be a male to attain it? There's no such thing as male and female in a higher level of wisdom. A male and female relationship, a gender difference is only for the lower level existence. A higher level don't have it. But in here, people, I want this. If I don't have this, I do not want to live. They just think things in a way that is so far away from enlightenment, so far away from purity. They always think that is required for humans. That's exactly what pulled us down. That kind of thing is exactly accounts for going to hell or going to heaven. People who are free from this higher level, people who are obsessed with it, first of all, even in this world, if they're obsessed with it, lots of problems come out. Obsession will have a lot of problems come out. Killing, murdering, raping, all these things happen. Study Buddhism, you'll know all these. To be a male to attain it, go to a land where there's no such thing, at least male and female, no gender difference. Why do you still have why are you still living in a dualistic way of thinking? I hate, I love, tall and short, rich and poor. This is only for the ordinary people who haven't arrived at a higher level of wisdom. That's enough of this. When I recite a particular mantra, my tears start. I'm not crying, but my tears just wouldn't stop. Can you please help me the reason for this? Because you are touched. Because inside you are so touched that you feel that because of chanting this mantra, you are more close to spirituality. You're further away from your greediness, your hatred, your anxiety. Assuming you have been away from home for a long time, assuming Richmond is your home, and you travel for many years, and now you're going home. First of all, when you're going home, you already feel very comfortable because you left home. And then as you approach, if you come from Vancouver, as you approach the Oak Bridge, you're more touched. You're getting closer, you're more touched. You're coming home. You're coming home to have peace. You come home to that home where there is no mental afflictions, where you're getting to purity. You feel touched. That's the reason why the tears come rolling down. But don't attach to that feeling. Let it happen and let it go. Any feeling should not be attached to. Next question. I read the stroke of insight you recommended. She said about her experience. Was it really how nirvana feels like? Nirvana is only a word to explain something that we haven't achieved. We can only think about it by these words. If you haven't been to Ottawa, you can only read about it in Google. But how do you feel walking in the streets of Ottawa? That cannot be experienced by just looking at a book, looking at a map. The actual feeling of walking in the street of Ottawa must be when you are walking it, not when you are thinking about it or when you're reading about it, or not when you are GPS about it. You have to have the actual experiences to know it. You can only predict, you can only extrapolate from languages, you can only think about it, but you cannot because you haven't been there. If you haven't been to Victoria, if people say, oh, there's an Empress Hotel in there, and it's described to you what Empress Hotel looks like, you think you can fit in the description? You think you already experienced yourself experiencing Empress Hotel? No. There's only indirect experience. Is it really walking in Empress Hotel? No. Is that book about Nirvana really feels like it? No, I don't think so. You have to actually feel it, to know about it, to know about Nirvana. But people who've been there told us, for example, the Buddha told us, Nirvana is something like this. So we believe it and we want to achieve it. If your dad had been to Empress Hotel in Victoria and he told you that Empress Hotel is very exciting, especially the afternoon tea is really tasty. It's really good. You really go into that tea house and you're paying $60. Ordinarily, you pay just $20 for a tea, but in Empress Hotel you pay $60, but you have a lot of pastries. You can order any coffee you want. I experienced that. And when you're thinking about it, your mind is rolling. Oh, that's what Empress Hotel is all about. But you can only extrapolate, postulate. But you are not experiencing. You know it from a trustworthy source, your dad. You don't think your dad will lie to you. You don't think Buddha will lie to you. That's the reason why you trust what the Buddhas were talking about. But the real experience, you have to do it yourself. I recently had a fall through with my best friend of 15 years, and she keeps appearing in my dreams. I'm very sad about this. I feel angry towards her even when I don't want to. How do I go about making peace with her and have closure to this? You meditate on metta, loving kindness, forgiveness. Every time when she appears in your dream, you say, I'm going to forgive her. And this forgiveness, I may not be powerful in my forgiveness, then I can see the Buddha up there or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva up there, and she is shining her light onto the friend that I hate, and at the same time she's shining light on me, and I'm shining my light of compassion to my friend. I'm extending forgiveness to my friend. I'm extending loving kindness to her. All the hatred disappears. You have to contemplate like that. Every time when the anger comes up, you just extend forgiveness. You want to forgive this. And as time goes on, it may disappear. Basically, you have the anger still in you. And your anger cannot disappear. You know how you have built up your anger? Not just in this life. You build up your anger in previous lives too. It's a very strong mental affliction, a very strong energy in you, that anything that arouses your anger, you cannot dissipate it. You cannot reduce it. So you have to practice loving kindness to that friend, extend the loving kindness, extend the forgiveness, and as time goes on, it may erode away the wave of anger that's been attacking you. Meditation on loving kindness.